White Wings, I recommend 100%, even though it's a 3 hours video. But to be very honest, I watched it and before you know it, I didn't even know when it finished. That was how engaging and how interesting this movie is, packed with life lessons. See, in this life, never you have all your trust on someone. It's okay to trust, but to be very honest, you have to be careful on who to trust and just maybe limit your trust because to avoid matters that touch the heart. It's about a particular young girl called Ene. Ene is poor. Ene is unfortunate. According to her, she feels that she's cursed because of her general life histories. According to her, she has never smiled. She has never been happy all through her life. She has a boyfriend called Chibuzo who is meant to marry her, but Chibuzo has made the world a living hell for her. Let's talk about a particular young guy called Toye. Toye Nelson is a mommy's boy. He portrays this good attitude, like good vibe, gives the mom this very good boy attitude, whereas he is a very bad boy. So one of the days, Ene was sent for an errand. Ene mistakenly hit his car. That day, he was driving with his best friend, Daniel. And, they had this confrontation and he insulted and threatened Ene. Ene wanted to, retaliate, okay? Ene followed him back. And while he went to the mall to shop, Ene placed marker and destroyed his car. He came out and with the help of CCTV camera, he found out that it was Ene that did that. And this guy went to Ene's house to destroy Ene's house. Of course, he's a bad boy. He knows his route. So, one of the things he does is that he's a chain smoker, but the mom didn't know he's on drugs, okay? Then Chibuzo, being Ene's future husband, was complaining. He kept telling Ene that, see, I can no longer afford to feed you and me. You have to, at this point, get a job. Ene applied for a job through agency, and unfortunately for her, she was referred to Tonye's house. You guys, that was it for her. That was where her mysteries, not mysteries, started. When she was referred to Tonye's house to work with Tonye's mom liked her, gave her the job. Unfortunately for her, she met Tonye, and Tonye told her it's better she leaves or he's going to frustrate the living hell out of her. But then Tonye didn't want the mom to know because, like I said before, the mom sees him as a saint. Literally, the heir apparent to the father's business. Like, the father is very rich and he used to take over the father's business. So what Toye told Ene was to leave the house. Of course, Ene packed her stuff, went back to the future husband's house. They're not yet married, but they are currently dating. And when Chibuzo saw her, Chibuzo was like, what are you doing? You're not meant to be here. You're meant to be there. She now opened up and told Chibuzo everything, but Chibuzo wasn't hearing. Chibuzo was like, please go back and get that job, knowing fully well how we desperately need the money. She went back and she has to face Tonye. Tonye has probably literally made the house a living. Even the other day, the friend came around and was like, what is this witch doing here? Because of course that day the incident happened, he was with Daniel. One of the days Ene was cleaning Tonye's room, she saw drugs and she asked Chibuzo. Chibuzo had to punish her and was like, never you. No, not Chibuzo, sorry. Tonye had to punish her and warned that never she touched his stuffs anymore. On the other hand, despite the fact that Chibuzo beats her up all the time, Chibuzo also cheats on her. The other day, Chibuzo brought in a woman and told her to represent herself as a sister just to be able to get what he wanted from this particular mystery lady. Of course, Ene is still working for Tonye and Tonye family. On this day, she was about to go to the market and the mom was like, okay, follow my son since my son is going to work. At this point, Tonye has officially taken over the father's business. But one of the things Tonye does is that on his way to work, he usually drives, branches at one bush to change his outfit and wears something casual just for him to mingle with bad friends and continue his drugs and all that without the mother knowing. So this day, he just dropped off Ene on the road and asked her to find her way. She got back to the house and Chibuzo made advances on her, wanted to sleep with her, but she declined. Chibuzo had to force her out of the house, so she slept outside the house that day. This affected her and she was able to get to work the next day very late. Prior before then, Tonye's mom announced to him that she has a trip. She'll be going to Port Harcourt to spend 1 week. Leaving the house for him, Tonye and Ene. Let's see what the future holds for both of them, because at this point, one of the things Tonye does is that anytime the mom is around, around, he pretends to be nice to Ene. This one, the mom will be leaving the house for 1 week. Let's see what the future holds for her and for him. Watch out for the next episode. Subscribe.